Hello everyone, this is David Cox from Raleigh City Council. Tonight I want to discuss the Raven Ridge Rezoning, also known as Z1516, in preparation for a public hearing at City Council on February 4th. Rezoning requests can be very simple or they can be quite complex. The Raven Ridge rezoning happens to be one of the more complex rezoning requests to come before City Council. It is known as a planned development rezoning, and with it is a master plan that has been filed with the city. Taken together, the entire rezoning request coming to City Council encompasses 69 pages of documentation. What I would like to do tonight is to explain this documentation and how it is organized. That way, when you have a chance to download it and read it, you will be able to understand what it is you're looking at. All rezoning requests follow a process, and the documentation that is on file reflects that process. That process consists of 4 main steps. The first step of the process is a neighborhood meeting. The developer who wishes to rezone the property sends out notices to the people that live within 500 feet of the property and invites them to a meeting where they present their plans for future development and explains to the neighbors why those plans require a rezoning. As part of that meeting, the developer listens to the neighbors to understand their concerns that they might have, which of course, being the first step of the process, neighbors might have concerns, or those concerns might arise later. But at least this is an opportunity to introduce the project, to introduce the rezoning, and to capture as much information as possible. All of this is done by the developer, and it is done prior to actually submitting an application for the rezoning. After the neighborhood meeting, often within a day or two, the developer will then submit an application for the rezoning, and that application is submitted to the planning department at the City of Raleigh. After the application is filed, there will be a staff evaluation of the rezoning request. Typically, the zoning request is evaluated against the city's comprehensive plan and is documented. Early in this process, the rezoning request is also presented to the nearest Citizen Advisory Council. Citizen Advisory Council will hold 2 public meetings. During the first public meeting, the developer will come and present their proposal, and during the second public meeting, the developer will return and present any modifications they might have made to the rezoning proposal as a result of the input that they received both during the neighborhood meeting as well as during the first CAC meeting. During the second CAC meeting, those who are in attendance will have an opportunity to vote on the rezoning request, indicating if they are in favor of the request or not in favor. The developer will also take the rezoning request and submit it to the Planning Commission. The Planning Commission will hold a public meeting. Often it will take input from the public as well as from the developer, and it will take some time to evaluate the request and make a recommendation to City Council. Once the Planning Commission's certified recommendation is ready, the rezoning request will then be taken to City Council, and City Council will hold a public hearing. To prepare for the public hearing, Council will receive a document that will include details about the neighborhood meeting. It will also include the application that was filed. It will include the staff evaluation. The staff evaluation will include a summary of what was discussed in the vote at the Citizen Advisory Council. The report will also contain the Planning Commission certified recommendation. And at that point, after Council sets the public hearing date, the documentation is reviewed, and then the public hearing is held where people can come and speak either in favor of or against the rezoning request. When you download the rezoning request from the city's website, it comes to you as a PDF file. The first page of the PDF file is actually the Planning Commission's certified recommendation. So things are stacked in reverse order of when they actually occurred. The last step is what appears first in the document. The next major section of the document is the zoning staff report or evaluation of the zoning request. So this will be the second major section of the document. The third major section of the document is the rezoning application itself. In the case of the Raven Ridge rezoning, this is a fairly long section of the document, about 22 pages long, and it includes a master plan and numerous other information that provides details of the plans for the property. The last major section, or fourth major section of the document, actually appears as an exhibit, and this is information that pertains to the neighborhood meeting that was held that kicked off the entire rezoning process. To summarize, the zoning request for the Raven Ridge rezoning is a 69-page document consisting of 4 major sections. The first section, which corresponds to the last step in the process before the rezoning request comes to City Council, is the Planning Commission certified recommendation. The second major section of the report is the staff report evaluation of the zoning request. The third major section of the report is the application itself, which will provide the details of what the plans are for the property. And the fourth or last section of the report documents the neighborhood meeting that was held at the very beginning of the rezoning process, the meeting that is held by the developer to explain to the nearby neighbors what the plans are should the rezoning pass. For a list of all active rezoning requests, you can navigate to this URL to the city's current development activity page. And there you will be able to click on zoning request and find not only the Raven Ridge rezoning, which is Z1516, but numerous other rezonings as well. That's all I have for tonight. I hope this is useful, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at david.cox@raleighnc.gov, and I will be happy to get back to you. Have a good night.